Yo, what's good? It's your boy Big Mike from Quick Shot Sports and more. Listen, we gonna talk about Lane Kiffin, man. He was the head coach of Ole Miss. They sitting at 11-1. They in the playoffs for college football. And what do you know, man? Dude had to make a decision. He was in the interview process for LSU during the season, recently. And they decided to hire him in this season. Why? He's still the head coach of Auburn. And within 24 hours, he was the head coach. And he had to make that decision while in the season. My question to you guys is, wouldn't that mess up the football team? Wouldn't they be pissed off? Didn't people come to Auburn? LSU. Didn't people come to Ole Miss because of Lane Kiffin? You got coaches there because of him. You got players come there for him. Players, ready to sign because of him, and they take off to LSU. I'll wait. Look, we're going to look about what they say on ESPN about it. But, man, I just feel like that's something they can wait till after the playoffs is over and then announce it. But LSU hired him, announced it the next day, switched up everything, and made him official. Like within 24 hours, got him down and everything. They'll talk about it. Check it out. That's wild work, man.
The college football here on First Take. LSU wasted no time in officially announcing Lane Kiffin as the head coach, holding a press conference and changing their website within 24 hours. Lane left behind an Ole Miss team that is currently ranked 6th in the college football playoff rankings and named Pete Golding as their new head coach. Here was Lane yesterday in his new hometown of Baton Rouge, facing the media.
Obviously, last 48 hours in a lot of ways sucked. It's the only way I can describe it. It sucked for a lot of people. And there was no way to possibly do it, in my opinion, any better than we did from a timing standpoint, because it's a bad scheduling system of how it's set up. And eventually, hopefully, it gets like the NFL where you can't do that in the season and don't have to make those decisions. But I'm never going to make a decision on money. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know what my contract is here. That's not very financially responsible, okay? I'm sure it's really good, okay? I don't know what it is, nor did I know at the other places what the numbers were. Because I said in the beginning, I told Jimmy Sexton, don't tell me the numbers, okay? I want to make a decision that has nothing to do with money for me. Now, tell me the numbers in the plan for what the money is for the players. Because that's everything in that area to me.
Okay, we welcome back in Paul Feinbaum. I said welcome back in because I feel like I just talked to you about this, and I indeed did just yesterday, Paul. So let's revisit this now after we've heard from Lane in Baton Rouge. How do you think he looks after his first introductory press conference?
I truly believe that's one of the most fraudulent things I've ever heard from a head football coach. I don't know what I am making. I asked my agent not to tell me. Nobody believes that because everybody in America knows what Lane Kiffin is making. It's been reported in every publication, on every broadcast, that he could make $12 million from the 3 schools going after him. So Lane, don't try to con all of us like you've tried to con some of us in the process, that you're doing the right thing, that you're trying to get the Nobel Peace Prize because you care so much about your players at Ole Miss, which you've just abandoned as they're trying to get to a playoff for the first time in history. So it's a great story. It sounds good, but it is pure balderdash. And I'm sorry, I just don't buy almost anything that Lane Kiffin says anymore.
Stephen A?
No, go ahead, CC. I want to hear what CC has to say first before I turn my attention to Paul Feinbaum. Go ahead.
Yeah, taking the LSU job is about as close as Lane Kiffin is going to get to Alabama and Nick Saban. This was the next best thing because that program had no interest in him, even though he's made overtures when Tuscaloosa had a job opening a couple of years ago when Saban stepped down. This was the next best thing, but make no mistake about it, this is Lane Kiffin going after the bigger, better deal as he's done throughout the entirety of his coaching career. And I'm not surprised by it. The thing that bothers me about yesterday's press conference is that he won't keep it a buck. And saying that he doesn't know what his contract is, how could you be more disingenuous than that? I'm pretty sure that he knows that Jimmy Sexton built in a $7 million escape hatch if and when he decides he wants to leave for the next job that he perceives to be better off than the one that he currently has. Why don't you just come out and say that LSU has more resources, they have more money to offer in NIL, and I believe in the sustainability of that program more than at Ole Miss because I can buy better talent. Just say that. People might not like it, but at least everybody can respect it and understand where you're coming from. But to sit here and give off this facade as if you were going to be allowed to coach the postseason when it would have been in direct conflict with the interest of Ole Miss as you're going to be a head coach at a program that is a direct competitor of theirs is just absolutely ridiculous.
Well, we have no disagreement amongst the three of us about how idiotic Lane Kiffin looked yesterday. You know, from the standpoint of not knowing your money. I mean, you know me. I mean, come on now. You know I don't believe that for 1 second. $13 million annually. Lane Kiffin, so you didn't know that, huh? The $13 million annually. You didn't know about the $150,000 for the Rebels' participation in the first round college football playoff game. Increases to $250,000 for participation in quarterfinals. Topped out at $1 million if Ole Miss had won a national championship. That was your contract when you were at Ole Miss. So you knew none of that, okay? You knew none of that, nor do you know that this contract certainly mirrors that at all. Listen, we were born at night, not last night, most of us anyway. That is just absolutely ludicrous. Nobody should believe that. And Lane Kiffin coming out and trying to sell us on that just really, really exposes him for everything that Paul Feinbaum, amongst many others, have said about him in terms of him being disingenuous and all of that other stuff. Having said all of that, I don't give a damn. I don't care. What I care about is this. Now you got to win. Now you got to return LSU to prominence. Nick Saban was there for 5 years, won a national championship in 4. Les Miles was there for 12 years, won a national championship in year 3. Ed Orgeron was there for about 4 or 5 years, won a national championship in year 4. You better do it. You better do it because Brian Kelly didn't get it done. You understand? And they booted him out there. Not only did it cost him his job, it cost the AD his job. He had to resign, okay? And then you, Lane Kiffin, you on the phone with that governor, with his crazy self, and the governor sitting there. And what does Lane Kiffin say? It was a very unique conversation. We understand it's different, but it's different in Death Valley. It's different when you're talking about LSU.
Man, so y'all heard it there, man. They said it all. Ain't nothing else for me to say. I need y'all to comment down below if y'all liked everything. Voice your opinions. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And lock in with us for real, y'all. I just thought that it was crazy. And I went to Stevie A. All of them. He should have spoke up and said, look, they paying me more money. But for real, to keep it a buck, if it was me, I would have been like, look, because they going to get him anyway. I'd have been like, as soon as I finish this season, we can lock in. And they would have did it because who else they going to go get? Who else was big enough for LSU at the time other than him? Nobody. So, hey, it is what it is. Your boy, Big Mike, a.k.a. Yay! Y'all be good, man. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. I'm out.